Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 6:01, I'll call the private city council meeting Tuesday, April 16th. Call this meeting to order. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Most gracious God, we come now as humble as we know how, Lord, to say thank you for so many blessings. Thank you for being with each and every one of the individuals here and their families. And now, Lord, in a special way, we pray for those families who are hurting in Boston and all around the United States from senseless dangers. Now, Lord, be with us as we speak tonight. Guide our tongue. Let us agree to disagree. And, Lord, when we leave here tonight, please direct us safely to our destination. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Madam Clerk, we call the roll.
Counselor Striplin. Here. Counselor Wood.
Here.
Counselor Brown. Here. Counselor Starnes.
Here.
Counselor Chambliss.
Here.
Counselor Bowles.
Here.
Counselor Boone.
Here.
Meeting is called to order. Character trait of the month is virtue. The moral excellence evident in my life as I constantly do what is right. We have approval of the minutes from the City Council meeting April 2nd, 2013, and we have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Those minutes are approved. At this time, we have comments from persons present regarding tonight's agenda. Anyone would like to speak on any item on this agenda, please come forward. Mayor, you have a report.
Yes, if I might have the privilege, if I could have Tommy
Sure.
Brown and Chief Thompson come up. And while they're coming up, I'd like to say happy birthday, Clyde Chambliss. Well, actually, I'm certain everybody here knows our local artist, Tommy Brown. I'm certain everybody here over the last umpteen years have seen a lot of the car tags that have just Prattville in script written on the front of them, and that's courtesy of our local artist, Tommy Brown. And with his assistance, after Chief Thompson got on, Tommy Brown reached out and was able to come up with a different little logo for our police vehicles. As you know, we're trying to keep them up to date, and also we want to try to keep some of our logos up to date also. But with the help of Tommy Brown, he was able to come up with this logo, and I just want to tell him how much the city of Prattville does appreciate him for all the work that he has done for the city of Prattville, and just proud to have a local artist up here tonight. So thank you, Tommy Brown.
Well, appreciate it. All I did is lent my heart.
Well, he's a little bit on the modest side, but I think it probably has been a long time coming, but I think this is a new design, and I think everybody will agree that when they get the SUVs out here, and we already have one, a white one that has it on there, and it does make a big difference there. Makes our police presence known. So just want to say thank you again, Tommy Brown.
You know, I think I wanted that on there 20 years ago, so anyway.
Well, I wish we had some of those 20-year-old vehicles. They're getting pretty close to being antiques now, but
I will say the way I drive lately, if I see this one.
thank you. And by the way, that is not a get-out-of-jail card either. So, and to extend the point of privilege, I'd like to have our Togger Creek Improvement Committee to come up tonight. I think they have a presentation by International Paper. Okay, that might be 9 o'clock, but yes, I'll just move right on along. just want to give the council a little bit of a heads up on some of the things that we've had going on around the city over the last week or so. And but anyway, just want to keep everybody informed about the phone system that we have implementing. It's going along very well, and it should be completed by the end of this month. The changeover system should save us approximately $45,000 a year there. In addition to that, our IT finance director, Doug Mosley, informed me today that through his negotiating with some of our data suppliers that we should be saving approximately $2,300 per month in that category. Just a reminder that the National Day of Prayer is May the 2nd. I hope I'll see everybody at the Doster Center. It starts at 6:30 there. Our City Fest is May 3rd and 4th. The Tip Tops will be back there kicking off right here behind us for the street dance. I think the gates actually open up at 6:30 there, but it starts at 7. Events will begin at that time. The Chamber Event Committee is met today, and everything is on track in that direction. On a somber note, and it was mentioned in the prayer earlier about our Boston Marathon bombing, President Obama has directed that all flags be at half-staff today until Saturday evening, so to respect and honor the victims of that tragic event there. On ordinance number 1, I want to encourage everybody to support that. It's just a way to help our families who have to purchase back-to-school items to extend or stretch their family budgets, and I think that is a very good thing that we can help pass on to there. Moving right on along down the items, resolution number 10, it's item number 10 on the agenda, and it's the savings. We'll have our bonds redone, and that'd be an approximate saving of $800,000 plus over the life of the loan. And at that time, I'd like to go ahead and call Reed Kavanaugh and for them to come up and give us a few more professional bullet points on that.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity to work with the city. Ken Funderburk with our firm is back here. I think you did the first deal we did for the city in '98. That was even before I showed up at Merchant Capital. So we've been doing the work here for a long time and appreciate the relationship and the opportunity. We're real excited about the credit rating upgrade that y'all got. I will tell you, those are not easy to get. You got moved up from A- to A, which is good. The rating agencies were very impressed with the actions that have been taken over the course of the last little while here at the city. They've been impressed with the fund balance going up, going in the right direction. They've been impressed with the expenditure cuts that have happened and just the good management over the funds, and the credit belongs to, the mayor and Doug and all of you sitting up here. So we were real happy to see that. That did save the taxpayers money. We had talked before, the market has been very volatile, but you locked in over $825,000 in savings, and that's the present value of the savings. The actual, the actual gross amount of the savings was $922,000. So in actual dollars, it's almost $1 million in savings. So again, that comes from the bonds being received well in the market, which yours were. And a lot of that had to do with your good credit rating and the good name that Prattville's got out in the market. So, again, we're just pleased to be a part of it. Thank you for the opportunity. And if anybody has any questions, we're happy to answer them. Just so you know, your interest rate went from a 4.78 down to about a 2.53 is the ARB yield on that, and that's a fixed rate. So that's, almost cutting your interest rate in half. So that was a good day for the city of Prattville, and we appreciate being a part of it. Tonight, you've just got the authorizing resolution. Barry Staples with Maynard Cooper and Gale was bond counsel. He did a great job putting all the bond documents together. And if there's any questions on the legality of what you've got in front of you, he can certainly answer those as well. So, any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
If council members have any questions at this time, if we do, we can go ahead and deal with them now, and we won't have to once we get to ordinance 10, if you would like. Thank you, Ken.
No questions. Could be a good night.
Everybody, are you finished, Mayor?
One other thing I did want to touch base on is Resolution 8. I got to drag this along as much as I can, but that's a device that actually help our police department. It's the AFIX tracking system that would actually help improve the way the ability for the city of Prattville to keep up, track, and monitor fingerprints as any kind of crimes that we have. So I'd most certainly appreciate the council amending the budget on that, and that is a very useful tool that I think that police chief has already proven that can be very worthwhile. Besides that, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Does anyone have any comments, questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we have a report on the status of the city finances.
Packet I provided a little bit different this time. You'll notice that the first thing in the packet is the budget. It's the budget summary. What I've done is gone in and added a new column to the right showing what the amended budget looks like now. We've made a few changes to the budget over the year so far, and we're kind of halfway through the year, so I wanted to be sure to show you where we are now after all the changes. I won't go through that right now, though. That's for your perusal at a later time. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. The next sheet is the revenue report. This is for the month of March. Most everything is running right in line. You will see that overall, year-to-date, we're up 2.17% over last year. That's $381,000. Positive growth on the revenue, definitely. And you will notice that we are 58.39%. We've received that much of our budget already. You also notice in the top right-hand corner, we are 41.67% through the year on our revenue side on most items. So that's very positive. I know Mr. Bowles has brought up the business license line item. You will see that we are at 95.63% for the year, which is actually $22,000 more than we had gotten in last year at this point. So we're still trending positively on that. The next sheet is the tax breakdown comparison, showing the different tax line items. Obviously, I provided this already earlier in the month, but I wanted to kind of give you a hard copy of it. Most everything's trending pretty well still on that. The next set of sheets is the expense report for the month of March by department. You will notice on the expense side, we are 50% through the year. At the end of March, most everything is running at 50% or a little bit less. So that's very positive. And you will see that year-to-date we've spent $813,000 less than we had last year at this point. Next sheet is the Sanitation Enterprise Fund income statement. Again, that fund is running in the black as it has been. You will notice that we received 42.78% of the revenue in that for that fund, and we are 41.67% through the year. Also, on the expense side, we've spent 42.7% of our budget on expenses, but we're 50% through the year. So both of those are very positive trends. On the Wastewater Enterprise Fund, running the same way, we've received 46.94% of the revenue budgeted, yet we are 41.67% through the year, and we have spent 43.59% of our budget, but we're 50% through the year on the expense side. Both very positive. The last two sheets are the bank balances sheet and the accounts payable and debt balance. Basically, it shows February of 2011. The total cash balance was $1.8 million. Actually, that's March. Sorry. At the end of March, it was $10,800,000. And on the accounts payable side, at the end of March 2011, the accounts payable and debt balance was $60,915,000, whereas at the end of March 2013, it was $49.8 million. So it's a drastic reduction on that side as well.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Mosley? Mr. Chambers?
The next debt payment is due in May,
May 1st.
and it's within this $2 million. It's like $1 million now.
It's just under $1 million.
Okay, so and we're on track to be where we need to be this
Absolutely.
fall. Is it November? The other
Yes.
one? Okay.
Anyone else? One question, Mr. Mosley. Do you have before you right now what the budget surplus is? I notice on item number 8, we're going to be amending to bring 13.5 from the budget surplus.
On the general fund, the budgeted surplus right now is $599,759.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Thanks, sir. This time we have a report from the Council on Special Committees. Councilman Striplin.
Yes, sir. The Wastewater Committee met during the last 2 weeks. We discussed problems with groundwater seeping into the sewer system, which results in additional water being treated at each of our plants. This ultimately equates into a higher processing cost and ultimately a higher cost to all our citizens here in Prattville. So we are trying to address methods to reduce the influx of groundwater into our system. Sanitation Committee also met, and we reviewed a memorandum of understanding in which a free study has been offered to the city of Prattville. The study would encompass looking at our routes for optimization, checking out the percentage of recyclable materials that we are currently collecting, and ultimately the transportation costs that we're currently incurring. The committee will continue to look and review drafts of this memorandum until we are satisfied, but it sounds like a good opportunity to get some information at no cost to the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Brown.
Yes, sir. The Streets Committee met on Tuesday, April the 9th. We were continuing our discussion on the development of a traffic calming policy and some options with some upcoming paving projects. Thank you.
Councilor Starnes.
No, sir.
Councilor Chambers.
Yes, sir. We had a Public Safety Committee meeting, and in reference to resolution number 8, dealing with the AFIX workstation. I won't want to get over my head here with the technical details, but what it will do will allow us to run the fingerprints into a database very, very quickly in this river region, and hopefully help us to solve crimes a lot quicker. Whereas now it takes an extended period of time. This can be just by the time they get back to the police station a matter of minutes. And if those prints are in the database, then they know then. Obviously, if they're not in the database, it still doesn't help us. But this is something that I think will really allow us to fight crime in a very expedient way. And I ask for all the Public Safety Committee's in favor of this, and I ask for the rest of the council's support on this item.
Councilor Bowles.
No, sir, but I do want to call a fire committee meeting for the 23rd at 10:30 at Annex to go over this year's budget and start looking at next year's budget. Thank you.
Councilor Boone.
No, sir.
At this time, we'll go into our agenda. Our first item is an ordinance to exempt certain covered items from the municipal sales and use tax during the first full weekend of August 2013, as authorized by Act 2006-574, generally referred to as the back-to-school sales tax holiday. Councilor Striplin, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Prattville, Alabama as follows. Section 1. In conformity with the provisions Sales Tax Holiday Rule 810-6-3-65 and Code of Alabama 1975, paragraph 11-51-210, parentheses E, enacted by the Alabama Legislature during the 2006 regular session, providing for a state sales tax holiday, the City of Prattville, Alabama, exempt covered items from the municipal sales and use tax during the same period, beginning at 12:01 a.m. on the first Friday in August 2013, which is August the 2nd, and ending at 12 midnight on the following Sunday, which is August the 4th, 2013. Section 2. This ordinance shall be subject to all terms, conditions, definitions, time periods, and rules as provided by the Sales Tax Holiday Rule 810-6-3-65 and Code of Alabama 1975, paragraph 11-51-210E, except that the time period shall only be as specified in Section 1 above, and not for all years thereafter. Section 3. City Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify a copy of this ordinance under the seal of the City of Prattville, Alabama, and to forward said certified copy to the Alabama Department of Revenue to be recorded and posted on the department's website. Section 4. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passage and publication as required by law. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. This ordinance must have the rules suspended in order to be considered tonight unanimously. We have a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Councilor Stearns. All in favor of suspending the rules signify by raising your right hand. Rules have been suspended. Any discussion on this ordinance? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. This ordinance passes. Item number 2 is a resolution to reappoint Horace Power to the Industrial Development Board. Councilor Brown, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas a vacancy has occurred on the Industrial Development Board due to the term expiration of Horace Powell on February 17, 2013, and whereas it is the desire of the Prattville City Council to ensure the continuity of the board's operation, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that Horace Powell is hereby reappointed, effective immediately, and said term shall expire on February 17, 2018, or until his successor is duly qualified and appointed. Mr. President, I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Stearns. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And this resolution passes. Item number 3 is a resolution to release funds for the purchase of one 72 Toro number 74274 lawnmower for Prattville Outdoors, from Prattville Outdoors for the Urban Management Department at a cost not to exceed $14,601. Councilor Boone, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas there is a need for one 72-inch Toro model number 74274 lawnmower in the Urban Management Department, and whereas said mower is available from Prattville Outdoors at a cost not to exceed $14,601, and whereas said purchase is a budgeted item for the Urban Management Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that said funds in the amount not to exceed $14,601 are hereby authorized and approved to be paid to Prattville Outdoors, and funds are approved and appropriated from FY 2013 budget, line item Urban Management Capital Outlay. Mr. President, I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Councilor Strickland. Be any discussion on this item? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And this resolution passes. Resolution number 4 is to authorize the hiring of one equipment operator for the Urban Management Department at an annual cost not to exceed $35,594. Councilor Boone, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas there is a need in Urban Management Department to fill a vacancy for one full-time equipment operator, and whereas the City Council has adopted a resolution requiring council authorization to fill vacant positions, and whereas the annual cost of hiring one equipment operator will not exceed $35,594 for salary and benefits, and whereas this is a budgeted position in the Urban Management Department, Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that up to $35,594 is hereby authorized to be expended for the purpose of hiring one equipment operator, and said funds are hereby approved and appropriated from FY 2013 budget line items: urban management, salaries and wages, workers' compensation, retirement, life insurance, health insurance, and FICA. Be it further resolved that the City Council of the City of Prattville, that the Human Resources Department is authorized to implement the hiring process as budgeted. Mr. President, I so move.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Second by Councilor Chambers. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Resolution passes. Resolution number 5, I've been notified that it needs to be held. It has not been read, so that item will not be on tonight's agenda. The next item is to authorize demolition of a dilapidated structure located at 801 Wilberforce Avenue at a cost of $1,870, and to award contract to Alvin Thomas Incorporated to complete demolition. Councilor Starnes, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas under the authority of Title 11, Chapter 53B of the Code of Alabama, 1975, has amended, the Prattville Planning Department declared the structure at 801 Wilberforce Avenue to be unsafe and a public nuisance. And whereas on January 22nd, 2013, the Prattville Planning Department ordered demolition of the structure of 801 Wilberforce Avenue by March 8th, 2013. And whereas the Prattville Planning Department's order was delivered by certified mail to the last known property owners and to all parties have interest in the property. And whereas no appeals to the Planning Department orders were received by the City Clerk within the period required by Title 11, Chapter 53B. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that the structure located at 801 Wilberforce Avenue is unsafe and a public nuisance that must be repaired or demolished as a structure of the Prattville Planning Department's orders. Be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized and instructed to remove the unsafe structure at 801 Wilberforce Avenue, and shall present the City Council with a detailed list of the costs of removal. Be it further resolved that the contract in the amount of $1,870 is awarded to Alvin Thomas Incorporated, as said funds are hereby approved and appropriated from fiscal year 2013 budget line item Planning Department dilapidated house demolish. So moved, Mr. President.
Have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Second. A second by Councilor Bowles. Any discussion on this item? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. This item passes. Number 7, resolution authorizing application to the Alabama Department of Transportation for fiscal year 2013 transportation enhancement funds for a project total of $96,800 with a local match of $19,360. Councilor Brown, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas the City of Prattville adopted a pedestrian facilities transition plan by Resolution Book 2009A, page 66, to ensure compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and whereas the transition plan calls for the installation of handicapped accessible curb ramps in conjunction with street resurfacing projects, and whereas the City is preparing plans for the resurfacing of Sheila Boulevard, and whereas the Alabama Department of Transportation has notified the City of Prattville of the availability of funds under the fiscal year 2013 Transportation Enhancement Program, and whereas curb ramps are an eligible activity and a Department of Transportation priority in the current application period, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that 1, the City of Prattville submits a fiscal year 2013 Transportation Enhancement Program application to the Alabama Department of Transportation for funding in the amount of $77,440 for installation of required curb ramps. 2, the City of Prattville commits $19,360 for the required 20% of local matching funds. 3, that Bill Gillespie Jr. in his capacity as mayor of the City of Prattville is hereby authorized and directed to submit said application on behalf of the city and take other such action as may be necessary to obtain the requested financial assistance. 4, that said local match funds in the amount of $19,360 are hereby approved and appropriated from fiscal year 2013 Engineering Department sidewalk and curb repair. Mr. President, I so move.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Second by Councilor Chambers. Any discussion on this item? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And this item passes. The next item is to amend the fiscal year 2013 budget and to release funds for the purchase of an AFIX tractor Latin workstation from AFIX Technologies Incorporated for the police department at a cost not to exceed $13,500. Councilor Chambliss, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas there is a need for an AFIX tracker latent workstation in the police department, and whereas said system is available through AFIX Technologies Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $13,500. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that FY 2013 budget surplus is hereby decreased by $13,500, and that FY 2013 budget line item Police Department capital outlay is hereby increased by $13,500. Be it further resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that said funds in the amount not to exceed $13,500 are hereby approved and authorized and approved to be paid to AFIX Technologies Incorporated, and funds are approved and appropriated from FY 2013 budget line item Police Department capital outlay. So moved, Mr. President.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Starnes. Discussion. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. This resolution passes. Our next item is to appoint Laura Lee Boone to the E911 board. Councilor Bowles, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. Whereas a vacancy currently exists on the E911 board due to the termination of Nathan Fank, and whereas the desire of Prattville City Council to fill that vacancy to ensure the community of the board operations, now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Prattville that Laura Lee Boone is hereby appointed to fill vacancy effective immediately, and said term will expire on November 1st, 2016, or until her successor is duly qualified and appointed. I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Councilor Chambliss. We have any discussion on this item? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And it passes. And it's not a conflict, Laura Lee. I see you scrunching down there.
I just asked Kathy, should I abstain? Sorry.
Our next item is an ordinance authorizing the issue of making provisions for the payment of $9,815,000 general obligation refunding warrants. Councilor Starnes, will you read it, please?
Yes, sir. An ordinance authorizing the issuance and making provision for the payment of $9,815,000 general obligation refunding warranty series 2013-A. So moved, Mr. President.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Boone. This being an ordinance, is also rules must be suspended unanimously in order to be considered tonight. Do we have a motion to suspend the rules? Councilor Chambliss, we have a second. Second by Councilor Bowles. All in favor of suspending the rules, raise your right hand. The rules have been suspended. Being a discussion on this item. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And this ordinance passes. At this time, anyone in the audience have any comments on any other item? This is your opportunity to come forward.
Mr. President, I might extend my point of privilege.
You may.
Just wanted to keep everybody informed about some of the good activity that the Creek Improvement Committee has been doing over the years, and also the involvement they have with the community, and also international paper. So, I'll actually turn this over to you, Iris. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan Poole. I'm the Communications Manager at International Paper, and I want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. International Paper conducts most of our philanthropic activities through our foundation. From its inception in 1952, the foundation supports nonprofit organizations within the communities where IP has operating facilities. We give back to our communities through corporate donations, in-kind contributions, employee volunteerism, in IP Foundation grants to provide more than $10 million across the country to support hundreds of community-based educational, civic, and cultural programs. The foundation has primary focus areas of environmental education and literacy. Here in Prattville in the River region, the IP Foundation is very fortunate to have community partners who truly make a difference through education and opportunities for improvement. And on behalf of the IP Foundation, I'm very happy to present a check for $3,000 to the Autauga Creek Improvement Committee to fund the purchase and installation of educational kiosks and signage along the Autauga Creek that will mark and describe the significance of environmental and historical features.
Well, I want to say thank you, IP. I mean, it's great anytime that you do give back to the community, and then thank you, Autauga Creek Improvement, or Autauga Creek Canoe Trail. And I mean, you guys have done a great deal of work over the last 2 years or so, and I think you've been a very valuable resource to the community, and we'll say thank you. And Joanne, would you like to have about 2 seconds?
2 seconds.
Okay.
In 2 seconds, we are really looking forward to spotlighting some more of the history along the creek so that paddlers can enjoy something that most people in Prattville don't even know is there. That's supposed to lead some suspense.
Well, thank you again, and if you just enjoy just a little bit more, we can get a quick picture, and then I'll end my point of privilege. Thank you.
I'm sure this body also want to thank International Paper for the donation and thank the Autauga Creek Improvement Association for what they are doing also in the city of Prattville. Thank you all very much. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Well, we thank you, Mr. Brown, for all the free logo we can get. Trying to stay consistent. Thank you, sir. Truly, we appreciate everything that the Autauga Creek Improvement Committee has done, along with Mr. Brown and all of the people who has done things, plan on doing things in the future to help Prattville and Autauga County. So thank you all. I've been informed that we need to go into executive session tonight. So I need a motion to go into executive session. Motion. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Councilor Chambers. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. We adjourn the executive session. Let the record show that the council is back in at 7:47. We have a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hand. We are out of executive session. At this time, would there be any further comments from any council member or the mayor? Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Meeting is adjourned.